So in exponential inequalities class, the first thing you need to understand again is to have a quick review. When will the sense of inequality change? Okay, lagyan ko na lang dito, change. Sense of inequality. Change will not change. Okay, siyempre alam naman natin na apat sila, no? Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, dito tayo sa hindi magbabago kasi ito dapat yung una nating alam na. Kapag nag-add ka, nag-subtract, hindi magbabago ng anumang real number on both sides, class, hindi magbabago ang sense. If you say that x is greater than y, kapag nag-add ka ng 3 on both sides, nag-add ka ng 3, no? Wala pa rin magbabago. It's still greater than. Pag lalagyan natin yan ng number, okay, if you place a number on that, let's say, kung sinabi mo na ang 5 ay mas malaki sa 4, kung nag-add ka ng 3 on both sides, wala siyang epekto. Si 8 pa rin ay mas malaki sa 7. Yun ang sinasabi nitong will not change sense of inequality. Okay? Kung mag-subtract ka, halimbawa, you know that 9 is less than 11. Kung nag-subtract ka ng 5 on both sides, 9 minus 5, 11 minus 5, still less than pa rin daw siya. This is 4, this is 6, right? So 4 still is less than 6. So there's no change. Yan ang sinasabi ng add and subtract. Okay? Ngayon, also, the sense of inequality will not change if you're going to multiply or divide positive numbers. Yeah, someone is raising his hand. Yes, they have something to say. Halimbawa, ang 10 ay mas malaki sa 8. Diba? Kapag nag-divide ka ng 2 kay 10 on both sides, this becomes 5, the other becomes 4. No changes at all. 5 still is greater than 4. Yun naman ang sinasabi ng walang magbabago daw sa inequality kung nag-divide ka or nag-multiply, basta positive yung number. Okay? Isa pa. Yes, someone is raising his hand. Yeah, you can speak.
Sir, may pinapasabi po yung mayor ng batch 1 sa St. Ansel po na kayo daw po sana sa pre-cal ngayon, sir.
Talaga? Wait
Sabi
lang.
po ng assistant principal, sir.
Wait lang. I just checked my schedule. Hindi naman ako. Unless hindi ito ang original. Wait lang. I'll check again. Hindi ako ang substitute. Wait lang. I'll check. Oo nga, OMG, nagbago pala yung schedule. Mali yung na-download ko. It's me. Pero it's almost time. It's almost time. What will I do? I'm going to record na lang something. May you please inform batch 1 of Ansel to stay in the room lang and accomplish na lang nila yung performance task nila sa pre-cal.
Okay
Clear?
po. Okay po, sir.
Oo.
Noted po.
Yeah. Thank you. O, nagbago pa lang yung schedule. I did not see. I received 2 schedules. Very confident naman ako na hindi ako apektado. Na-affected pala ako. Nagpalit pala. Okay. Sige. Stay in the room and then gawin lang nila yung PETA.
Okay po, sir. Okay po.
Thank you for reminding me. Kasi umalis ako sa school right now. Para dito ako sa partner. Para sa malakas na signal. I cannot find good signal in this school. Okay, so we continue. Continue. So, ang sabi naman dito, pag mag-divide tayo ng positive numbers, wala pa rin siyang epekto. Let's say, that is dividing 2 on both sides does not affect the sense. Kung nag-multiply tayo, how much more kay multiplication ninyo? 3 at 3 is less than 5. Kung nag-multiply ka ng 2, 2 times 3, and then 2 times 5, 6, 10. Walang epekto. Diba? It remains to be less than. No effect at all. Ano ba yung... give me 5 seconds. Message ko lang si Mayor of Ansel. Okay, so kailan naman magbabago yung sense of inequality? Hindi magbabago ang sense when we add or subtract, we multiply or divide basta positive numbers. However, magbabago ang sense of inequality class kapag tayo ay nag-multiply or divide. When we multiply,
Negative numbers, sir?
yeah, when we multiply or divide negative numbers, malaki ang epekto ni negative numbers sa pagbabago ng kanyang sense. But I want to emphasize, class, that si greater than, less than ang kanyang kapartner kapag magbabago siya ng sense of inequality. Magbabago ko siya ng direction. So si greater than or equal to, partner niya si less than or equal to. They are partners. Yes? To have that, para maintindihan mo kung paano nagbago ang sense of inequality, kung meron kang 9 at saka 10, alam mo naman na ang 9 mas maliit sa 10. Kapag ninegate mo silang pareho, i-negate mo sila, negative 9, and then naging negative 10. Mas malaki na si negative 9. Diba? So there is a change of sense. At the same time, class, at the same time, if you have two numbers, negative 3, which is greater than negative 5, isn't it? Kapag dinivide mo sila sa negative 1, this becomes 3, the other becomes 5. 3 is less than 5. Kapansin-pansin ang pagbabago ng relation symbol. See the changes? Okay? Another, if you are going to make use of numbers. Halimbawa, negative x is greater than 2. Sinapin mo yan. Gusto mong gawin positive x, definitely. So, kailangan mong mag-multiply ng negative 1. Pwede mong i-multiply ang negative 1 on both sides. Or, that negative x should be divided by negative 1. And 2 should be divided by negative 1. They have the same, the same, magkaiba ang operation pero the same ang pinupuntahan mo. Okay? So, anong mangyayari pag ganyan? Negative and negative turned out to positive. Negative to positive is negative. From greater than class, that becomes less than. So these two, positive x, negative 2, less than. Okay? So another, kung meron kang negative 3x is greater than or equal to 4, and you're describing values of x. So, mangyayari dyan, divide both sides by negative 3. Negative 3 here, and this is also negative 3. Negative 3 and negative 3 is just 1. So, bring down x. Positive 4 and negative 3 is negative 4 over 3. This greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to. Is that clear? Can you give me a raise hand reaction if that is clear? And I'm showing something pa. Okay. Tingnan nyo ito, class. 5 and 4. Si 5, mas malaki kay 4. Diba? Pag pinagpalit mo sila ng pwesto, nilagay mo dito si 4, nilagay mo dito si 5, anong magbabago? No? Kapansin-pansin na magbabago ang sign. Ang sense of inequality because 5 is greater than 4, then 4 must be less than 5. In inequality class, kapag pinagbago mo ng pwesto ang dalawa, magbabago ang relationship mo. Okay. Just like that. If 5 is greater than 4, and 4 must be less than 5. Okay? So pag gumamit tayo ng variables, let's say for example, if you say that negative 2 is greater than x, then how do you relate x in terms of, how do you relate x to negative 2? So ilagay natin dito si x, ilagay natin si negative 2 sa kabila. Dahil sinabi mo that negative 2 is greater than x, then x must be less than negative. It follows, di ba? Sige, sinabi mo negative 2 is greater than x. Then x must be less than negative 2. And so, I guess we're ready for the inequalities. Exponential inequalities. I-recall lang natin kung ano naman, kailan nagbabago ang sense of inequality kapag mag-multiply tayo or divide ng negative number. Numbers, not members. Bakit members na nilagay ko? Numbers yan. Okay? Okay. Negative numbers. Okay? When we divide, common mistake, baka mamaya akalain nyo class, let's say 2x is greater than 4. Greater than negative 4. Tapos nag-divide, mamaya, dahil nakita mo si negative kay 4, babalik rin mo ang relation symbol. No. Dito ka pa rin nakafocus sa 2x. So dividing both sides by 2 gives you x, the other is negative 2. The inequality does not change. The sense of inequality does not change. Okay, so we're now ready to solve exponential inequalities. We start with the first case. Remember, ano nangyari? Remember, class, that we have two cases in exponential inequalities. One of them is when b, the base, di ba? From b raised to x, y equals b raised to x, we say b is greater than 0 and b should not be 1. And so we have two cases. Case 1, when b is between 1 and 0. Case 2, when b is greater than 1. Mag-start tayo dito sa case 2. If b raised to x if b, but if b is greater than 1, okay? Rule number 1. Given that b is greater than 1 class, so ano ang magiging solution pag nagso-solve daw tayo? If b raised to x is greater than b raised to y such that b is greater than 1, then x must be greater than y. Kung ang b raised to x ay greater than or equal to b raised to y, kailangan daw ang x mas malaki or equal sa y. Ngunit kapag ang b raised to x ay less than b raised to y, ay kailangan na ang x ay mas maliit sa y. Less than y. And if b raised to x is less than or equal to b raised to y, then x must be less than or equal to y. Ngayon, para mas maintindihan ninyo bakit naging ganito ang rule, class may pagka-common sense din siya. Imagine mo, if you have 2 raised to 2 compared to 2 raised to 3, and your base is greater than 1 because 2 is greater than 1. This must be less than 2 raised to 3, right? And kapansin-pansin mo, class, na yung exponent 2 and 3, 2 is less than 3. Kaya naggagayahan. Kapag ito ay greater than din dapat ito. Tingnan nyo to, mga symbol na to. They are the same, right? No changes. Reason, because your base is greater than 1. Another, 10 raised to 10 versus 10 raised to 9. They have the same base 10. But you observe that the exponent on the left is 10 while on the right is 9. This must be greater than 10 raised to 9. Why? Because 10 is greater than 9. Yeah? Okay? So let's now have examples. 3 raised to x is equal to 3 raised to 5. Bakit equal? Must be greater than, diba? Three raised to x is greater than 3 raised to 5. So what will be the solution for x? Dahil meron na tayong parehong base, bring down now the exponents. Bring down x, bring down 5. And since the base is greater than 1, kopihin mo lang yung relation symbol greater than. And this is expressed in interval notation, all numbers greater than 5. No? Another, 7 raised to x plus 1 is greater than 49. So anong gagawin natin? No? Uunahin natin, kailangan natin magkaroon ng same base. So i-rewrite natin si 49, gawin natin siyang 7 raised to 2. So this is 7 raised to x plus 1. And since we have now the same base x, no, it's time for you to bring down the exponents x plus 1 and then 2. And kopihin mo ang relation symbol, greater than. Next, do the process the way you do in equation. Lipat ang 1, so minus 1, greater than. X is greater than 1. So this one, no, is in inequality, in interval, all numbers greater than 1. Pero napansin nyo dito, class, no, puro positive x ang ginagamit ko. Paano kapag yung number 3 mula kay 3 raised to x ay ginawa ko siyang 3 raised to negative x greater than 3 raised to 5? Ano magiging solution natin for x? So step by step, pareho na ng base. So bring down the exponents, negative x, bring down 5. Still, hindi mo pa naman kasi ginagalaw ang exponent, so hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng mangyari na bigla mong baguhin ang relation symbol kasi hindi ka pa nagmamanipulate. So this must be greater than pa rin. Okay? Next, it's time for you to divide both sides by -1. At anong sabi? Kapag nag-divide tayo ng negative numbers, change the sense of inequality. So negative x divided by -1 is simply x. 5 divided by -1 is -5. From greater than, magiging less than. Okay? And so our answer now is the set of all real numbers less than -5. Okay? Ngayon, kung gusto mong patunayan kung siya nga ba talaga yan, mag-select tayo ng number mula kay kay less than -5. If we let x be equal to -6, so 3 raised to negative of -6 should be greater than 3 raised to 5. The obvious na siya, 3 raised to 6 is greater than 3 raised to 5, right? Kasi nakita mo to, this is -x. So kailangan mo ng negative numbers para maging positive siya. How much more? Kasi sinabi niyang greater than 3 raised to 5. Diba? So 3 raised to -x should be greater than 3 raised to 5. If and only if the set of numbers x must be less than -5. Okay? So, practice. Practice. O kayo naman. In number, okay, dito tayo para makita niyo yung rule. Number 4, may you please try this out. 4 raised to 1 minus x is less than or equal to 16. Sige, may you try comment your answers in just, again, 20 seconds. May I know your answer? And then we will answer immediately. Okay, let us now answer. First, we write 16 into exponential form. So that is 4 raised to 2. 4 raised to 1 of minus 6. Since pareho na sila ng base 4, bring down the exponents 1 minus x, bring down 2. And less than or equal to. Lipat ang 1, so negative x, less than or equal to 2 minus 1. Okay? And then 2 minus 1 is simply 1. So negative x is less than or equal to 1. Now it's time for you to divide both sides by -1. So from less than or equal to, that becomes greater than or equal to. Why is it that you have a 1 there? This is -1. So x is greater than or equal to -1. Okay. So this can also be written as all numbers greater than or equal to -1. Okay? Hindi siya papunta sa negative infinity. Bakit? Kasi lumalaki yung number kapag negative ang gagamitin mo ang x. Kasi ito siya, 1 minus x. 1 minus x kasi yan. Kailangan mo magkaroon ng value ng 1 minus x na maliliit lang kasi less than or equal to ang ginamit na relationship mo. Kaya pag gumamit ka, for example, ng let's say let x be equal to negative 2. So 1 minus negative 2. Positive 2, I mean. So positive 2, this becomes negative 1. So 4 raised to negative 1 is simply 1/4. So 1/4 is less than 16. Okay, so nasatisfy niya ang sinasabi. Okay, we now proceed to the second rule. In rule number 2 naman, rule number 2, given that the base is between 1 and 0, or base is greater than 0 but less than 1, I mean, ang mangyayari naman, si b raised to x greater than b raised to y is true. That is true if and only if ang x ay less than y. So pabaliktad naman siya. So dito naman, if b raised to x is greater than b raised to y, then x must be, ay bakit na-repeat ko yung greater than? This is less than, x must be greater than y. If b raised to x is greater than or equal to b raised to y, then x must be less than or equal to y. And the fourth, b raised to x is less than or equal to b raised to y, then x must be greater than or equal to y. So, you observe this class, you can observe immediately na from greater than, it becomes less than. So with this, less than becomes greater than dito. Bumaliktad, no? Ang dahilan kasi nito, class, is kapag gagamit ka ng number, for example, 1/2. 1/2 versus 1/2 raised to 3. This is raised to 1. Sino mas malaki? Hindi ba't mas malaki si 1/2 kaysa 1/8? Kasi 2 raised to 3 is 8. Pero mapapansin mo na ang exponent, mas malaki ang exponent ng nasa right kaysa kay nasa left. Diba? 1 is less than 3. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, class, kapag ang base mo ay less than 1, at sinabi mo na yung number ay mas malaki sa isa, dapat ang exponent ay maliit. Kapag maliit ang exponent ng isang number, mas mataas ang kanyang value. Yun naman ang kagandahan niya. So, halimbawa, 1/4 versus 1/4 raised to 2. Eh si 1/4 raised to 2 is 1/16 now. 1/4 is 1/4. Mas malaki si 1/4. So kapag ini-increase mo yung exponent ng isang base na less than 1, ay lumiliit ang kanyang value. Okay, so magbigay tayo ng example. So for example, 1/2 raised to x should be less than 1/4. Si 1/4 ay 1/2 raised to 2. This is 1/2 raised to x. So napansin mo dyan, class, na ang base natin ay less than 1. So ipa-follow natin ang sinasabi ng rule. Pag ginamit mo ang less than, ready na tayong ibaba ang exponent, di ba? 1/2, 1/2, pareho na sila ng base. So ibaba natin ang exponent, x, and then 2. Kung mapapansin mo, ginamit natin kanina ay less than, dito, kailangan mo siyang baguhin. Gawin mo greater than. You need to change the sense of inequality. Change that. Okay? So, you have greater than. X is greater than 2. Yan ang magiging solution. Okay? So, that is this one. Meron tayong alternative solution to that. Halimbawa, kung ayaw mo ang base na 1/2, No, you don't like to use base 1/2 kasi di mo alam ang rule niya. So you have another way. Take note that 1/2 is equal to 2 raised to negative 1. And 1/4 is equal to 2 raised to negative 2. So i-rewrite mo si 1/2 raised to x, gawin mo siyang 2 raised to negative 1 raised to x. So meron na tayong 2 raised to negative 1 raised to x is less than 2 raised to negative 2. Pinalitan natin ang 1/4 ng 2 raised to negative 2 at si 1/2 ng 2 raised to negative 1. So this becomes 2 raised to negative 1 times x is negative x is less than 2 raised to negative 2. Ngayon, dito mo mapapansin mo na ang base na nakuha na natin ay hindi na less than 1. Ibig sabihin, gumamit na tayo ng base na greater than 1. At dahil greater than 1 ang ginamit mong base, okay, hindi mo babaguhin ang sense of relation symbol or inequality. Ibaba na natin ang exponent negative x at saka negative 2. Hindi natin babaguhin ang sense of inequality. Less than pa rin. Pero napansin mo that this is negative. So when you divide negative 1 on both sides, this becomes x, the other is 2. Palitan mo ngayon ang relation symbol na less than magiging greater than. Reason? Dahil nag-divide ka ng negative. When you divide negative, magbabago ang relation symbol. And so we got the same answer. Diba? So, kapag nagsisolve ka, pumili ka kung saan ka dyan nadadalian. Is it the first or the second? And so, do it. Okay? You perform it. Kasi sabi naman ng ibang klase, sir, mas gusto namin ng base na greater than 1 kesa dun sa base na less than 1 kasi nahihilo kami dun, sabi nila. So since kayo ang nagsusolve, choose the rule that really makes you confident. You're confident to apply. Okay, number 2, let's say 1/3 raised to negative x is greater than or equal to 1/9. First, i-rewrite mo si 1/9. Si 1/9 is 1/3 raised to 2. And this is 1/3 raised to negative x. Gets? 1/3 times 1/3 is 1/9, right? At dahil pareho na tayo ng base, ibaba na natin ang exponent negative x at saka ang 2. At dahil ang ginamit mong base class is 1/3 and that is less than 1, mula kay greater or equal to, baguhin mo siya, magiging less than or equal to. Are we clear on that? Yung kailan ka magbabago ng sense of inequality? Na-guess nyo yun? Raise your hand please. Can you please raise hand button? Okay ba kayo doon na na-follow nyo yun? Oh, sige, yan. Marami. Na-follow nyo naman. Good. Next, nakikita pa natin ang negative x eh. So divide both sides by negative 1 to turn that into x. Remember guys, you're not looking for negative x. You're not looking for any other but x. So kung nakita mo negative x, divide both sides by negative 1. If you see 5x, divide both sides by 5. Okay? So 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. So what will happen here? Magbabago ulit yan into greater than or equal. Diba? So you see, pabago-bago talaga siya ng ginagawa. Depende kung hindi ka pa tapos mag-manipulate. Basta pakatandaan mo, step by step. Dito sa first step, ang ginawa natin, nire-write natin si 1/9 naging 1/3 raised to 2. Ang dahilan, kailangan mo magkaroon ng parehong base. Pagkatapos mo magkaroon ng parehong base, it's time for you to bring down the exponents negative x and 2. And since you make use of base that is less than 1, but not less than 0 or 0, but more than 0, ay magbabago ang relation symbol mula kay greater than or equal to naging less than or equal to. Pagkatapos, dahil nakita natin ang negative ni x, divide both sides by -1 just for you to have positive x, will cause you the change again in the sense of inequality. It becomes greater than or equal to. And so our final answer is all numbers greater than or equal to negative. Kung ayaw mong gamitin yan, you have alternative solution. In the alternative solution class, tandaan mo na ang 1/3 ay 3 raised to -1. Palitan mo ngayon ang 1/3 ng 3 raised to -1 at tandaan mo din na ang 1/3 raised to 2 or 1/9 is equal to 3 raised to -2. And so, you now have 3 raised to -1 raised to -x. Palitan natin ang 1/3. Palitan natin ang 1/9. Magiging 3 raised to -2. So ito, kapansin-pansin dito class, this is a bit faster. Negative times negative is positive. So positive x. And bring down negative. And since ang base mo, no? Since ang base mo kasi is greater than 1, then x is greater than or equal to. No changes in the relation symbol naman sa kanya. Okay? Kasi nagawa na natin i-transform into positive yung negative x by multiplying -1 as we transform 1/3 here. Kaya siya naging x. -1 times -x is x. -2, bring it down, so here. So, which for you is better, no? Do you find better si case 1 or you nahihirapan kayo kay case 2? Siyempre, si rule number 2, medyo confusing siya. Kasi babaliktarin mo agad yung relation symbol. Di ba? And, well, depende yan. Depende yan kung saan ka confident. Okay? Kasi kung ako naman ang tatanungin ninyo, depende pa rin sa sinusolve mo. May time na kapag ginamit mo ang alternative solution, ay hindi niya ibibigay sa'yo ng madalian. So you need to have long process din. Pero si solution naman ni rule number 2, pwede din siyang mabilisan, no? Mabilis din siya. Kasi yun yung pinakamabilis na kaya mong ang tawag ito, yun ang pinakamabilis na procedure na pwedeng mangyari. So walang better in this two. May kanya-kanya silang restrictions. Okay? On number 3, may you please try this out. 0.001 raised to -x is equal to 0.001 raised to 3 is less than or equal to, let's say, -1. Ganun po dito. Ano ang sagot dito, class? In number 3, may you please comment? Mukhang pang-exponential lang tayo sa 2 oras. If you are still available tomorrow, tinan natin bukas. Or di kaya mag-record na lang ako ng logarithm. So, anong sagot niyo dito sa number 3? Okay, sige, sagutan na natin ang number 3. This becomes, since pareho na yung base, pwede na natin ibaba ang -x. And then ibaba na natin ang -1, bring down 3. So the sense of inequality class will change. Why? Because our base is less than 1. So this becomes greater than or equal to. So continue, -x is greater than or equal to 3 plus 1. So negative x is greater than or equal to 4. You see, this is negative again. Divide both sides by negative 1. So this is negative 4. The other is x. And so, magbabago ulit ang relation symbol less than or equal to negative 4. The step-by-step process, we can see here na that since our base is less than 1, this relation symbol will change into greater than or equal to. Tuloy-tuloy na yun ang gagamitin mo, greater than or equal to. Pero pagdating mo dun sa process na yung si negative x ay kailangan na maging x, ay kailangan mong baguhin ang relation symbol. So yeah, you change it twice. From less than or equal to turned greater than or equal to until you were able to manipulate this negative of x, then that turned to less than or equal to. And so that is our answer. Okay? So this is now our answer. So we have here all numbers from negative 1, negative 4, no? All numbers less than or equal to negative 4. So ready 520. Okay, mukhang hindi natin magawa ang logarithm ngayon. Pero I'll pause again. Stay available bukas.